Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bachelor Recap, a guy's review, the greatest seasons ever. This is episode 2, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about Kaitlyn Bristowe. If you haven't met me before, my name is Dave Neal. I recap all the Bachelor franchise seasons, Bachelor, Bachelorette, and of course, due to COVID-19, we are stuck at home still in Los Angeles, and we're recapping reruns. Someone left a comment last time, and they go, so let me get this right. You're recapping a recap? Yeah, that's what I'm doing, okay? I got nothing else going on. I like to tell everybody how much we made doing the recaps. Last week's episode made me $2.50, something like that. So thank you for that tall iced coffee from Starbucks with coconut cream. I appreciate that. No money for any extra espresso shots. That's okay. All right, so what I do is I take notes, I read them back to you guys, and we get into a nice little chat here. No edits, straight through. Here we go. And this was a good one. I really enjoyed Kaitlyn's season. 5 years ago. Boy, a lot changes in 5 years. Rewatching this season, it's like knowing how The Sixth Sense ends. You know what I mean? But, you know, you rewatch it and then you find surprises you didn't see the first time. That's what this is. Spoiler alert, he was dead all along. Speaking about Shawn. So many all-stars on this season. Wasn't it amazing? I mean, lives have been created because of the Bachelor franchise. We had Jared and Ben Higgins, and Tanner's got a family now, and other people. I mean, it's really incredible. The offspring just from people connected to Nick Viall. Nick could be spreading the coronavirus just with all the different episodes he's been on. We've got Britt versus Kaitlyn. That's how the show starts. They're battling to see who's going to be the Bachelorette. It's weird that they've never done this again. I wonder if they get some flack for this. It's probably hard to get someone to do this where they don't even imagine going to a mansion and not knowing whether or not you're about to travel the world for 6 weeks to find the love of your life or not, and these dudes get to decide. Kaitlyn, she might be the most authentic Bachelorette of all time. She was amazing. There's something about Canadians. Canadians are authentic people. You know, I know there's going to be some exceptions to the rule, but she kept it real. You know what I mean? She calls her mom to tell her the news. She's like, I got Bachelorette. And then her mom's like, you did it. I'm so proud of you. And it's like, you did it? What did she do? Congrats on still being available. You know what I mean? 2015. This is when we were still allowed to culturally appropriate mariachi bands and things like that. I don't think you can do that anymore. Rewatching of all the seasons is going to cause so many relationship fights. Oh, I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? There's so many relationships that came because of the Bachelor franchise, but not directly. You know, it's very incestuous. I feel like they all belong to the same. You know what I mean? Like, they could have their own, like, Tinder version of Bachelor. Like, if you were on an episode of The Bachelor, you now get another date with somebody else. I forget that Bachelor started that gay bromance rumor about Clinton JJ. Remember they did that? They teased it for, like, 6 episodes, that there was going to be, like, this gay romance thing. First of all, you can't rewrite history. The fact that they didn't address it on the recap of the season shows that, like, times have changed. Because I feel like they made a scandal out of something that wasn't there. It trivialized gay relationships. I could be wrong. What do I know? I'm not here trying to be all woke and everything. I'm just saying if society has evolved, maybe address it. I don't know. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? Let's move on. Boy, Clinton JJ. They just look like the bad guys from the Mighty Ducks movie. The second one, D2, the team from Iceland. That's what they have. They got Iceland face. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for, folks. Not really giving you any good information. We call this irreverent comedy, where I come from. Irreverent comedy. Hanna, Ann, and Madison Skype in to rip on Peter. Boy, I'm so glad I've never had to go through this. You know what I mean? Where, like, exes get to Skype into national TV and make fun of me, and then Chris Harrison's like, hey, if Dave was back on the market, would you date him again? And they're like, oh, good one, Chris. I'd be at home watching this being like, what? I tried my best. Madison. I like Hanna Ann, but Madison, I wouldn't trust her. I wouldn't trust her at all. Right? I don't know. Something about her over religious, high morality that makes me question things. All right, moving on. Watching Shawn falling for Kaitlyn before Nick Viall enters. This was tough to watch. You know why it was tough to watch? Because it's like we know there was a car crash, but we didn't get to see all the potholes leading up to the car crash. So when we're watching it now, we're going, this doesn't end well. And sure enough, it didn't. I mean, Nick randomly shows up in New York. Kaitlyn breaks the news to the dudes. She's like, there's going to be another dude joining the show. And they've all got the moral high ground. Like, we submitted to all date you as a group responsibly. It's hilarious seeing all the guys hate Nick, right? It's actually just like Mighty Ducks, right? You guys, I didn't write this down, but everything about this episode is going to be me relating to Mighty Ducks, which, by the way, my fiance has yet to see Mighty Ducks. Can you imagine that? You know, Mr. Quacksworth, Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Ducks guy. Anyway, because it's like, remember in the original Mighty Ducks when, was his name Gordon Bombay? No, Gordon Bombay was the older guy. Whatever his name was, the kid has to go from his good team, like the evil team, to the District 9 or whatever the heck they were called, which became the Mighty Ducks. And everyone on the team hated him until they ended up loving him. But in the show The Bachelor, no one ended up loving Nick. So maybe it's not like Mighty Ducks. Moving on. You didn't need any of that. Or did you? Maybe you did. I do this for me. Just so you know, I'm here for me. I don't have any friends to talk to, so I do this. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. By the way, we got 4 new subscribers after last episode. That's why I can tell nobody's watching my recaps, because normal Bachelor, or no one's watching the show at all, because in normal Bachelor shows, we usually get like 25 new subscribers an episode, sometimes 50 new subscribers an episode. So I'm thinking most people aren't binge watching the recaps because like we already have digested what actually happened. You know what I mean? But we got some good things to get into, so let's just see what happens here. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a slow build. And maybe people will just watch individual episodes. This is kind of like an a la carte season. It's like we liked Kaitlyn Bristowe, whatever her name is. Like we like Kaitlyn Tartick. What? I thought they were going to get engaged. We'll get into it. Are we allowed to dress up in mariachi outfits? I asked. I support freedom of dress. I think as long as you're honoring a different culture, you can dress up in it. Don't do blackface. Anything but that, okay? Kaitlyn invites Nick back to her hotel. They forget to turn their mics off. What was going on in the hotel? The camera guys just filming the door. It's like, what are you just filming? Maybe get underneath the door cracks, see if you can get any of the shadows. What happened? Do you guys know what went down? I mean, obviously they had sex, but it sounded like he was going down on her. That's what it sounded like was going on. You know what I mean? Shawn goes, I'm trying to figure out why you're telling me this, because Kaitlyn told Shawn that she banged Nick. Kudos to her, because Shawn was going to find out anyway, so kudos to her for telling him. But he goes, I'm just struggling to find out why you're telling me this. Like, I thought we were going to hook up tonight, and now you're laying this down on me. But Shawn's got a point. Kaitlyn told him she thought he was the one. You know what I mean? So it's strange that she waited. Here's the strange part. Would it be better if Kaitlyn waited till the fantasy suites to hook up with Nick? Because it's like, I think the fact that she hooked up with someone else, it was probably less about the sex and more about the fact that she did it off the beaten path. Speaking about beating a path, off the beaten path of the way the show operates. And that's why she got slut shamed so much. It's because, God, it's because she, which I don't agree with. And I think she explained it the best she could. By the way, the Canadians are so much more evolved sexually. In the United States, I mean, guys, and don't leave a comment like, why don't you move over there? Like, we're a great country, okay? But, we are very sexually repressed. We were founded by Puritans. And to this day, that's why I host the podcast, the Sex Actually podcast, the SAP, because it's so hard to get people to have truthful and honest conversations about sex, because we're just so like, we'd rather watch, a bunch of beheadings on the news. Anyway, moving on. Where was that point? The proposals happened. Nick says, I'm your forever if you'll have me. Oof. That was rough. Right? Nick says, and then he goes, I'm your forever if you'll have me. And then she's like, I won't. And he's like, well, okay, take that back. But then they were breaking up, and Nick said, you took things from me. What did he mean when he said that? Because I'm not trying to make this a sexist thing, but I don't think a woman can take things from a guy. Like, I don't think you can play the victim about that unless like she literally took, his favorite pair of jeans or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Leave a comment. I guess that comes off as sexist, but like, it's like, Nick, by having sex with her, you are in full control of what you were doing. She wasn't taking your dick from you. Well, she was taking it, but let's move on. Okay. You know what I mean? But I don't know maybe I'm thinking about something else. What did he mean? Does anyone know when he said you took things from me? Was it the butt? Did she take the butt from him? Give me that butt. Nick Skypes in with Chris Harrison, tells the Jimmy Kimmel story about the lips touching that Kaitlyn did. So apparently Kaitlyn told him before the season started, I want to send you a cute sign. That's cool. That's some like conspiracy deep level stuff. I can't believe I never heard that rumor before. Usually these things get out. Kaitlyn Skypes in. And by the way, Nick seems like a good dude. He seems like a good dude. It's weird because he kind of comes off as like some like introvert, quiet guy, but he's done so many of the different episodes. So it's like he's so ingrained in the culture of The Bachelor. I thought he was going to come out of the closet. I thought that was going to be the big secret because they said there was going to be some big secret reveal. I'm not outing him. I don't know what his sexual preferences are. I think it doesn't matter. But I was like, what are they going to do? Because, they're always teasing something. Kaitlyn Skypes in. She said, an intimate moment with Nick felt wrong. Boy, that's got to be tough for Nick to read. Well, she had sex with him and she said it felt wrong. I'm sure the sex didn't feel wrong, but, I feel like maybe it made her realize how much more she was into Shawn. I don't know. And then she talks about her relationship with Shawn that ended. It was 3.5 years. They don't really get into all the info about the relationship, but it was really heartbreaking to watch through social media because I think everyone wanted to root for them, but I don't think Shawn could get over the Nick thing, and there was trust issues, and I'm sure there was more to it. We don't know. We're just projecting. We have no idea. But it's interesting, and it's not fun to watch that. It's not fun to watch like them separate and one person gets the dog and all that jazz. That is not fun at all. But the benefit from it is that Kaitlyn met Jason Tartick from Becca's season. Everyone loved Jason, the guy from Buffalo. He had that Buffalo accent. You know what I mean? He could have been on Mighty Ducks. He does look like he could have been on Mighty Ducks. Kaitlyn invited Jason onto her podcast. People heard that they had amazing chemistry, and they said they should date. Let me tell you something about people on a podcast with amazing chemistry. The Sap, guys. My fiance, Tasha Courtney, and myself host the podcast, The Sap, for 6 years now. We just recorded episode 394. I'll include a little bit right here. That's episode 394. I post it as a separate playlist on my YouTube channel, plus anywhere you listen to your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to a podcast, you can get The Sap. If you need someone to listen to and you like me and we're doing okay, you're going to love the podcast, okay? It's just like this, but we have these casual, fun conversations about dating, love, relationships, and some self-help. That's my pitch to you. You enjoyed the recap? Go on over to the podcast. Big shout out to Deidre. Am I pronouncing Deidre? I always mess that up. Deidre, big shout out to you for joining the Patreon. You support us so much. You joined the private membership of the SAP community. So big shout out to you all the way from Georgia. We love our Georgia peaches. Thank you so much for your commitment to us. We appreciate you. Oh, man, don't leave us. Speaking on chemistry, Kaitlyn felt Jason's AirPods in his pocket. That was funny. Kaitlyn thought she was getting proposed to. She started feeling for him and she felt something. And she was like, oh, my gosh, am I getting proposed to on a Zoom call? You know what the funny thing is? When I proposed to my at the time girlfriend and now fiance in the fall, we went to Thailand and I started my proposal on a bench. And she, as soon as she started feeling me that I was like proposing, she was like shocked and she started patting the pockets on my shirt to see if I had a ring, and I did, but it was behind me. And she was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Boom!" It was awesome. There's a video of that somewhere on my YouTube if you wanted to check that out. Because I was a sweaty mess. It was about 100% humidity, which I always give credit for the people that I always give credit for these bachelors and bachelorettes who were able to propose on the show, and it sounds beautiful, because I would have been like Jed, just like singing out off a key. I was a mess when I proposed. Quick story. Do I have time to tell you? I'll tell you guys this. The recap's over, but I'll tell you my proposal story. So it was the second day we were in Thailand. I bought the engagement ring off of a dealer here in downtown Los Angeles. Her Instagram's Jewels by Grace. She has an Instagram and she has all this antique jewelry. So I found a diamond ring that was actually mined in the 1800s, and Tasha loved it. We had picked it out. She didn't, but I told the diamond dealer that I wouldn't have it ready yet. Or no, I'm sorry. The diamond dealer told, I was with the diamond dealer purchasing the ring. And I said, text me that the ring won't be ready for another month. That way I'll tell Tasha so she'll know that I actually don't have the ring, even though it's a lie. So this whole thing was built on a lie. So then Grace, the diamond dealer, texts me that the ring's not ready, when in fact I have it on me. So then I sneak it in the plane. We fly all the way to Thailand. Of course, the layover's in Beijing. They're checking my podcast gear. The ring's right there. I take it out and put it in my back pocket. I'm like smuggling a ring into the country. Communist China is trying to kill me. And we get to Thailand. Second morning, we walk out. There's this beautiful bench swing on the beach. And my goal was to propose there that evening at sunset. But what I didn't realize is everybody comes out at sunset onto the beach for photos. So we're there the second morning and it's super early because the jet lag's all messed up. And we get down to the beach from our bungalow and I go, oh my gosh, we need to take a photo at the bench. It's perfect. There's nobody around. So I ran back to my bungalow to get the ring because I didn't prepare to do it at that hour. So Tasha's waiting on the beach. I run back and there's a giant spider, like a giant, Southeast Asian spider that's hanging out in front of the door to get into the bungalow. So I went to rip off a piece of like a palm frond or something so I could hit away the spider. But like these Jurassic Park style plants were so strong, I cut my finger. So I pulled it, cut my finger, and I'm sweating. It's humid, so that there's burning going on. I'm batting a spider. I get inside, I rummage through, I find the ring, I run back, military jog, flip-flops all the way back to the beach. I set up the camera, I hit the record button, I look into the camera, and Tasha will tell you, I just was like, my face went white because I was so nervous. So I'm just sweating through my shirt. I got a bloody finger. I'm so nervous. I go to sit down on the bench and kind of almost fall back because I sat down on this 2-person bench swing. Anyway, it was one of the best days of our lives. From there we went, it was great. But in that moment, I was scared out of my mind. So major respect for the people that do it on live TV. Anyway, I did not plan on sharing that story with you, but that's what we're here for. There isn't much to recap on a recap, so I figured I'd recap my proposal. She said yes. And then later that day, we went to go bathe with elephants, and we got a Thai massage that night and Thai noodles. It was a blast. We had a great time, and that was just a few short months ago. And actually, we're doing okay. We're sharing space here in the 550 square foot studio apartment in Los Angeles, and we're staying safe, and I hope you guys all are too. So do me a favor, leave a comment below. It helps the algorithm. Hit the like button. Every time you watch to the end and hit the like button, leave a comment below. It just helps more people find the content. And I love it. Every week we get new people. So hello, good to see you. Links to all the other podcasts and things are in the description if you want to have a laugh. This week I posted some new stand-up videos, so it's all on there. Hold on a second. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't even mention this. I was too busy telling my proposal story. I thought the episode was over. I didn't even talk about the big reveal. I got to talk about this real quick. So it was fun. Chris Harrison basically asked Kaitlyn if she wanted to be on the next season of Dancing with the Stars, which if you don't watch the show might not sound like a big deal, but it's major exposure. And it's like, come on, their lives are in reality now. This is good for her. Major exposure. Plus, it's amazing. Dancing's amazing. You get to challenge yourself. You get a great workout. You get to learn a lot about who you are and what you can accomplish. I think this is fantastic. So I totally think her reaction was valid. I mean, she was shocked, and I'm sure, that's cool. That was cool. I mean, there aren't many ways to add any bells and whistles to a Skype call, but that was pretty cool that they asked her on air like that. So I'm excited to see how Kaitlyn does. I think she'll do good. I don't think she's as big as Hannah Brown is, so I don't know. She might just be like a rag doll up there, all Dolly Parton style. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so it looks like they'll be out in Los Angeles for D-Dubs TS. Anyway, so that was my brief addition to the podcast. Bye, guys.